Mm. So we've all the idea of meditation or quieting the ego mind or listening to intuition. It's not a foreign concept to us. Some more, some less. But how do we know which voice we're listening to? So they're giving me an image of adults chattering away, one over each other, and they all want to tell their story. And there's a child that's there and says, I have an idea. And nobody listens because they're all so busy with their interpretation of what's going on or what they want to say. So it's usually that voice that is drowned out, that is wasn't hasn't been listened to before, or as a child it was dismissed, or all these things. So it takes a while. It's a habit, just like changing your diet or exercise or meditation plan, whatever. It's a habit. So it doesn't matter when. Go way back. Just ask your being to go as far back as it needs to go to be able to listen, to remember how to listen to the inner guidance voice. Now, so it's been droned out. So the inner guidance voice wants you to follow what is good for you, but we've overpowered it with inner morals, which is a good thing. We all need morals, but then they are a law of expected behavior, and so we don't listen to that quiet voice within us. We know we don't mustn't steal or lie or all those other things. There we go. Instead of us being taught, what if we could feel it? So lately in the last century at least, um, good human behavior, morals have to be taught. So we're taught all the time what we should do, what we shouldn't do, what would be best, But it's all from a place of strategy and from mind. Even something like a diet, instead of listening to your body and what it wants, not what the addiction in your body wants, but what it truly wants, what it needs. You wouldn't need to implement a diet. Sugar-free, wheat-free, caffeine-free, alcohol-free. If you could live in the moment and feel your body, it might need something that is contradictory to a philosophy, to a dogma. Same goes for all the other bodies. So just observe yourself. How are we going to create a difference in this world if we're just doing a copy paste of what is expected as good human behavior? How can we actually create a change? So if we listen to an inner voice that asks us to do something different, out of the ordinary, or contradictory to our dogma, are we ready and are we capable to listen to that? Okay. So just listen to the place within yourself where that voice comes from, where in a situation you shouldn't have done that, you should have, you shouldn't have, or where does that voice come from? Even something like you have to help your neighbor. That is a moral standing within yourself instead of a quiet voice saying it would be kind to help your neighbor. It might be a program that's triggered your need to be helpful, your need to be seen, your need to do service so that God loves you. That would be saying you should help your neighbor. Okay. Identify where that voice comes from. Even if it's in your left knee, doesn't matter. Identify a sensation, an area, the type of voice that it is. Okay, and now imagine hearing guidance from your soul, from your guardian angel, your crew. where would that come from? Or if you've heard it before, what does it sound like? Notice if you can feel the difference in tone or in the body sensation. So they're showing me that we're quite obedient to the negative tone of our own inner voice because it's the archetype. So if mom and dad said you have to do the dishes or you have to do your homework, the way we speak to ourselves, we're more inclined to listen to that tone of voice than the kindness of the higher self. It's as if it were dismissed. So here we're going to it's as if there were a belief of if I don't do what my inner voice says, my ego inner voice, there's like a punishment or there's a form of disciplinary action. And it's so much louder than the kind voice of higher self guidance. So the crew is going to balance that out, clean it as well. Here we go. So who can recognize that ego voice is more like telling yourself off? Although it might have good intentions associated, it's more from a strategic mindset rather than from a heartfelt space. So let's say you should go to bed earlier so you get better rest, can be a great indication. But if you listen to, and depending how rebellious you are, if there's a mandate, you might not follow it. So what if there would be, it would be so great if you could go to bed earlier because the deeper rest and you'll be more in alignment the next day is the same. It's the same thing, but from a very different place. So find out, do you tell yourself off? And do you drown out that kinder voice? So imagine like a child and they're lost in a sea of people, but they can hear their mom's or dad's voices and just focus on it. Imagine having lost that ability, and that's all I need you to do, trying to remember the soul's voice, the soul's guidance. There we go. Just with that intention. So one example could be your soul self tells you to lie down for a little bit and rest, and your inner voice, associated maybe with a contract that says you need to keep busy, you might, because you have to finish this, finish that, do this favor. So you don't listen. And then that rest could have allowed you to go deep within your body and find a jewel, or rest and be ready for energy increment, whatever it is. But our ego mind overrides this silent mind. So imagine balancing this out. Oh, and again, you can become so silent and remember that voice. It's been drowned out either because you didn't follow those prompts, the indications, the loving nudges, or because you were listening to a different kind of inner voice. Doesn't matter, just remember it can come back. It's like one of those memories, far away memories, when you can become still, as if you can reach it, become still. Even though the ego inner voice might be good, the intention is good, the soul voice, the higher self voice, is more a fifth dimensional guidance. So even though the ego mind has good advice, good guidance, it's from a 3D perspective, and that is safe. But what if you listened? Oh, there we go. So we're separating it from the ego mind into the higher self voice. And now they're saying in the group, how do I know that is true and not just wishful thinking or fantasy? So we're cleaning up that inner voice, the soul's inner voice again. So when that voice is confused by it's too good to be true or that's impossible, I'm not going to follow that inspiration because it's not doable. Some of you might be hearing a high pitch, an inner high pitch. Notice if you're hearing it with your left ear or your right. Notice if you can see where that quiet voice is coming from. If it's coming from your head space, your chest, or even deeper. That goes to extremes, either from negative or dictatorship language to fantasy. Clean it again. Allow your higher self, inner voice to ring true. No. Okay, so deep breath in, come on.